All right, and welcome back to episode 26 of the Alec Frengos show. This is a sports podcast centered around NBA and NFL, and today I'm joined by Jay Price, Joey Price, and Ryan McKellar up at the top. And big news, obviously, Damian Lillard has gotten traded from the Portland Trailblazers to the Milwaukee Bucks in a 3-team deal. We're going to be going over that, and then we're also going to be going over NFL Week 2 and previewing Thursday Night Football. So first, we'll obviously start with the Damian Lillard trade. Damian Lillard, the main piece in this trade, was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. The Blazers end up receiving in a 3-team deal with the Phoenix Suns, Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, 2029 first-round Bucks pick, and a Bucks pick swap. The Suns receive Yusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and Grayson Allen. So I'll start with you here, Joey. What do you make of this trade? Who's a winner? Who's a loser? Is it even? And what's kind of just your main summarization of this trade, really?
Well, I think this automatically puts the Bucks as the number one team in the East. Well, I already had them as that, but it just puts them over the top. Losing Drew Holiday, but you just replace him with Dame.
Who's better?
Yeah, he's better, and they didn't really give up much other than that. In the East, I feel like it's kind of open this year. I feel like
A lot of good teams.
there's good teams, but I feel like the Bucks, they're definitely the best one.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I think it's, from a trade standpoint, I think it's pretty even.
Yeah.
I think each team got what they wanted. Obviously, the Suns have been fed up with Ayton for a long time.
Monty
From what
Williams
I've been hearing.
literally says he doesn't like
Yeah,
him.
so I mean, it's good that they got rid of him, and then the Bucks getting Dame's just great. And now Middleton doesn't have to score as much, I feel like, which is good because he's getting older.
Yeah, he's declining.
And then their defense won't really deteriorate that much, even though you're losing Drew Holiday, because you still have Brook Lopez there, and then Middleton's a decent defender
And Giannis
as well.
is a defensive player of the
Exactly.
year.
Yeah. So I like it, and I like the Suns adding depth too. I think that's big.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
I like it for all three teams. The Bucks went out and got a pure point guard. Damian Lillard, he's a ball handler. He'll do everything for you. A couple, Giannis getting 30 a game, Dame potentially getting 30 a game.
They could both average 30.
It's a great mix. I'd like to see how that duo.
Scoring league.
Like 28 a game.
Who, Dame and Giannis?
Yeah.
Probably could.
I'd like to see how
They
that
will.
duo works out, because I know the star-studded duos haven't been working out as of recent, or trios, or whatever you want to call it. Hopefully it works out well. I think Portland will flip Drew Holiday right away. No point of him being in a rebuild there.
Yeah,
They'll
no.
flip him probably to a contender,
Raptors.
either back to the East, maybe they keep him in the West, but
Great.
they'll get young pieces out of him too. So I think it's them just going younger, which is great for them. And the Suns come in there with some sneaky key and impact players there, better than what young G League guys they got now to fill out the roster. So I think it puts the Suns kind of in a spot where they can easily go out and they can play and work down into their bench and not have worry.
Yep.
Yeah, I obviously talked about this standpoint from the Bucks side, but more from the Blazers. Obviously, Scoot Henderson's the main piece now in the Blazers organization. Drew Holiday will probably be flipped for probably, I could see a late first and probably a role player. DeAndre Ayton, the Blazers they'll kind of Scoot and Ayton will probably kind of work together there, and they're getting a first-round pick and a pick swap. I think the very important piece in this trade is actually the Suns, because they traded Ayton, who's they didn't really like him in that scheme, right? And notable thing too, they knew DeAndre Ayton couldn't guard Jokic. That's what one of the problem was. They didn't have a matchup for him. Now they bring in Yusuf Nurkic, who's a big body guy, filled out like Jokic, and he's not going to guard. He's not going to shut down Jokic.
No one can.
No one can. But I think he can contain him more than Jokic can. But bring him in. You obviously get Grayson Allen. He's just another guy who comes off the bench. He'll give you 12 to 15 points maybe on a good day, and he'll shoot threes for you. Nasir Little's another young,
He's good. Yeah.
unproven player. So we'll see. I like it. Suns fill out their depth, only trading really DeAndre Ayton. So I think it's a good trade for the Suns. I think they could have got a little bit more, maybe like a second-round pick or something else for DeAndre Ayton. But hey,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. And the question here before we end off talking about this, the Bucks' projected starting lineup: Damian Lillard, Pat Connaughton, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez, and the sixth man Bobby Portis. Are the Milwaukee Bucks the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference? I'll start with you, Ryan.
I think they should be. I mean, they really got what they were missing. A guy who can go out, even if Giannis, you want to give him like a slight day off and against a weaker team, it's like you can still go out and win games. It's literally what they were missing. Even when they won the championship, they got by, but now this puts them over the top. They really have the same team again. So, I mean, it's really the piece they're missing to easily overcome all the weaker teams down at the bottom of the East, and really what the Heat really only give them a chance, but I don't see.
Yeah, I'll go
really
next
coming
year.
close,
I think
yeah.
that from the Milwaukee Bucks standpoint, they weren't missing anything to me. I think this just makes them even better than what they were. Pat Connaughton's kind of a guy that you can maybe try to contain guys like Schroeder did against Curry in the playoffs. You can put him on ones. He won't fully lock him down, but he'll contain him. Lillard just adds another aspect to this offense now because you have Giannis doing his thing, 30 points a game. And Lillard, you can just – it's another guy to go to when Giannis, if he plays down low, Lillard can control this offense. Holiday was trying to play like a little off-the-dribble shooting type of player, but – Lillard now brings a whole nother dynamic because not only do you have to focus on a top 3 player in the league, now you got to focus on one of the best offensive players in the league and probably a top 3 point guard in the league currently, Damian Lillard, who's always just wanted to win. This duo I think it can be very scary. The Bucks, I think they'll add a couple more pieces going into next year's trade deadline, but right now the Milwaukee Bucks are my favorites in the East, I'd definitely say. So this duo is going to be very exciting to watch. Go ahead, Jay.
I don't have to say much after that. I agree with you. I don't think anyone's contending. I don't think the Celtics
It's
are
going to be
very
very hard to stop because Celtics got Porzingis, right?
They're still mid.
They
though.
got Lopez and
Jalen Brown shit.
they got Lopez and Giannis down there, which will just cancel that out, right?
Yeah.
So, and they bring Middleton, Jalen Brown, which they've already handled the Bucks. I think Tatum guarded. I mean, Drew Holiday guarded Jalen Brown a little bit, but it's not going to be too much different. I don't think. Bucks, yeah, I think they're the. I don't say clear favorites, but definitely ahead of the Celtics for me after this.
I agree with that. I think they're the favorites, but I think it's just important because in the playoffs they're missing like a clutch scorer, and they
couldn't rely to Giannis for threes when they need a three.
Well, he's not shooting.
They're kind of going to Middleton, right, as that type of down the stretch scorer.
Yeah.
So having one of the most clutch, I know it's one of your favorite players, one of the most clutch players in the league, maybe the most clutch player in the league, with Giannis. It's going to be scary for a lot of teams. This is going to be a tough out for the playoffs because the Heat beat the Milwaukee Bucks last year when Giannis was hurt, right? So this team coming into the season now, fully healthy Giannis, when they go on a playoff run, this is going to be a tough team. And Lillard, he's going to have a legit shot at a ring.
Yeah, and he's a big playoff player, I find, Lillard. So when it gets to the playoffs, you look at the teams in the East, like I don't see a team in the East that can go out on the court and say, I can guard Lillard and Giannis and hold this team under. Because if you look at the Celtics, they lost their defense. They lost Marcus Smart and Grant Williams. They really lost their defense.
Yeah.
They still have Rob Williams, defensive anchor in
Really
the paint.
good
But
point.
really outside of the paint, I don't think they have much defense. So they're not really going to be able to shut down Lillard
No one
in
on
the
that team.
playoffs.
Jalen Brown won't guard
No,
Lillard.
he can't. Tatum probably can't either.
Brogdon. It'd be Brogdon.
Sneaky good.
No.
Not defensively,
Not Lillard
I can't,
good.
but not Lillard good, exactly. But I think it's a piece that'll just set them over the top because when Giannis went down in the playoffs last year, that
It was
team
Drew
was
Holiday
just
that
and
had to score 30.
it was dead, and he couldn't do that consistently. So this is a team where you can take a loss of Giannis for even if he hurts himself, goes down for 2 weeks, and you're still a top team. So it just puts less stress on Giannis, which is good because he doesn't have to always worry about attack and paint steady. There's always the corner kick out Middleton, Lillard up top, pick and roll. It's going to be nasty.
Yeah. Going into the next topic here, the perfect table actually for this. The Miami Dolphins beat the Denver Broncos 70-20. You might want to hide that hat right now. And I'll start with you, Ryan, as a Dolphins fan. What did this win mean to you, and how good did that ass kicking feel?
It was very enjoyable. I just sat down and watched a brutal win. It was vicious. They were just beating them on everything.
They wouldn't stop.
Every hole was there. Broncos were missing tackles left and right. There was guys all over the place. I don't know if the heat was a factor to the Broncos coming from Mile High, but I don't know what it was. It was just
A lot of family in the crowd, right?
It just seemed like
There was actually.
It just seemed like every play the Dolphins ran, was connecting. It was like every pass was the guy was open. Every run there was a hole for 10+ yards. It seemed like, unless they got a lucky tackle. But I mean, it was literally history. We watched history. It was sick. And
Go ahead as a Broncos
Well, they
fan.
should have just stopped showing the score like House League.
Yeah.
It was stupid. Like Mike McDaniel, that guy's
He's
an
amazing.
incredible play
He's
caller.
amazing.
And I felt like what Robbie
Chosen
Anderson,
Oh, shit.
Robbie Chosen, what he said is he said he was in the locker room after the game. He's like, yeah, we should just went for 100. Like I get they were trying to.
Why is he running this mouth?
Yeah, no, he
He did
said
shit.
that. Like I get
He'd
they were trying to hold it back at 70, like 3 off the record. But come on, 70's already like, okay, if you're gonna hold it back, maybe hold it when you got to 56 or something. Maybe put your backups and cut it down. You get it all the way to 70. It's like
gotta run it.
with 8-9 minutes left on the clock. It's like, why stop? It's like just go for as many as you can and just annihilate them.
When did Tua come out of the game?
I think it was
Fourth
the
quarter.
end of the third quarter. I think
Fourth
maybe
quarter,
Like
were
they
up
wouldn't
like-
stop.
They were up
No.
so much.
and then they put Mike White in. And they were running the ball steady
So-
all over him still.
Question for you.
Yeah.
What is wrong with the Denver Broncos?
Okay, so coming into this season, we're like our defense is like average.
Well, you
And
had a
our
good
offense-
coordinator. That's why it looked good last year.
Yeah. Well, we had good players too. Our offense, it was terrible last year.
Mm-hmm.
We got Sean Payton, Russell Wilson bounce back year. It's looked good this year.
They're not playing bad.
But the defense, it's ranked 32 in every category. And you're not going to compete in games without a defense.
It's crazy how bad the script has flipped. Especially, you see the best corner coming into the season, Pat Surtain, routed by Chosen.
Yeah.
Did he have a pass breakup on Tyreek? No.
He's like,
It doesn't. I know it's unguardable, but still.
no one's guarding him.
But yeah,
Chosen.
but the thing.
Chosen.
Yeah, I know.
Just stop and go, and then
And
he's tired.
I
They've
think-
been on the field.
I don't
the
know
whole
why
game.
he was on at that point.
I
but-
don't know.
And I think the loss of Justin Simmons for that game was kind of
Oh,
huge
yeah.
because if you were looking at some of the plays,
Just
the
going over
safeties
top.
were all over the place. It was like there's the first touchdown to Tyreek where he was just wide open over the middle.
Yeah.
The guy didn't even have an angle on him.
The corner
No.
followed.
Well, he's
Chosen.
also really
They
slow.
doubled Chosen instead. The
Tyreek
safety
Hill
dropped
was
down.
caught the ball and was running
Yeah.
past the 30-yard line. The safety was coming down to him, and Tyreek Hill looked like he jogged into the front pylon.
Yeah, because the one safety
Who was
instead of
that?
Kareem Jackson's an old.
Instead of the safety staying high, it dropped down onto Chosen, and it was kind of confusing because then they left Tyreek Hill open. It was just a defensive mess. But then, again, I got to give McDaniel credit just because of the motions, like because the defensive players weren't following much across the motion. So he would line up on Surtain, and then he would motion across into some wheel route into a comeback, and it was just exploiting everything, and the defense wasn't
Okay, so
adjusting.
Rogers on Pat McAfee yesterday, he said that Mike McDaniel has these play calls where the Tyreek and Waddle, I know Waddle didn't play, but still, they're getting a CFL head start. They're running in motion and they're in full speed by the time the ball's snapped.
Yeah.
And with that being the fastest players and the start and stop speed is like crazy, it's very hard to stop because they're running in motion. The defense has to check all the way across the field, zone, man, whatever you're in. And these guys are running full speed at you. It's very hard, and Tua being one of the most on-time accurate quarterbacks, it's a very hard scheme to stop. And
Yeah.
Vance Joseph, I think he's got to be out in a couple weeks.
I think the Broncos
be.
have to do. There's going to be some sort of shakeup. If Russell Wilson gets benched or goes, I would
won't
actually be
get benched.
mad about that because it's not really his fault. I think it's something on the defense has
It
got to
is.
give.
I think it's the
something's going to
coordinator.
blow up.
It has to
Oh
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
So our
has to be.
defense was like top 5 last year, and this
It
guy
has to be.
comes in.
Yeah.
And
Who'd
I don't
you
know why.
lose?
Not
Besides
much.
Chubb.
Not much.
Exactly. So
Draymond Jones is pretty much
it's
it.
Vance
There's
Joseph.
only D line
That's
work,
clearly
yeah,
the
that
problem.
they lost. So they got to
I mean,
change
we have
something
some
fast.
pieces out, but yeah, I don't know how this guy got another opportunity to coach.
Did he get fired from Arizona, or did they just take
He
him?
just left. But he was the head coach for Denver. He was terrible. He's been everywhere and he sucks.
He's not
so,
good.
Yeah.
And
He's not good.
this looks partially bad on Sean Payton too. He comes in for a first-round pick, talking all this and that,
He was talking a lot.
Talking
Tua
all
being
the-
benched and shit, and then got 70 clipped by him.
saying Hackett. I've never seen a team run like that before, or be ran like that before. Blah blah. This
he's
and that
talking about Hackett. This is already a worse job than Hackett if he keeps going
so
like this way.
he's
Whoa.
got to be in some hot water. I mean, all the stuff he was talking just for his team to be 0-3. I get it's the defense's fault, but I mean, he's got to be able to come in there.
No, I
and
agree.
say
You're the head
something.
coach.
Yeah.
You have to take accountability
You
too.
got to control your
no matter
team.
if it's the defense or offense. Jay, from a non-biased standpoint, what are your thoughts on this game?
I just thought it was funny. Honestly, I didn't watch it because I was just like, hey, I kind of feel bad, but I don't know. Like I don't really have much to say. Like I thought the Broncos defense would be good this year. Like not good, but I thought they'd be like average. Yeah. And I thought the offense would step up and the defense would step down. They'd be like a 7-10 team.
Let me ask you a question. Are the Broncos a bottom 2 team in the NFL?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I just think that was just an outlier game. I think they'll bounce back. They won't. I don't think they'll be bottom 2 in the league. I think they'll be bottom 5. But I think they're better than
I know
a couple teams.
you probably have them beating the Bears this week.
It'll be close. It'll be a close
Who
game.
wins, Broncos
Not in
or
a good
Bears?
way, but
I don't know. Okay, I want to go Broncos just because week 1 and week 2 were such close games. I mean, both teams just got blown out this week, so I don't know what to expect from either team really. But I think the Broncos offense will be much better than the Bears offense. They'll be able to put up more points than the Bears. It's
Both
just a matter of
defenses
fact,
suck.
if they're
Yeah.
if the Broncos defense can string some turnovers or something, the game will be
Yeah,
over
that's
right
not
away.
possible.
Yeah, I mean it can
it
be.
is. Fields is at quarterback.
It can be. Yeah.
They'll just throw it to Josie Jewell.
How many fantasy points did Dolphins defense have? Did
Only
you check?
10. It was
check.
against me. It was 10.5.
No. Like against the Dolphins last week. Negative what?
Oh, Broncos
Oh,
defense.
the Broncos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't
Oh,
know.
I'll check now.
Negative what? It's got to be like negative what? Did they have a turnover?
No.
Might be negative 20.
Yeah, it was
They've
7.
only had 1 turnover in 3 games.
But yeah, just kind of wrapping it up. I think Vance Joseph is definitely the problem for this defense because you got a lot of players on this team that can play at a very high level in the NFL, and I think that his scheme's kind of holding them back and not letting. Surtain just looks lost out there for some reason, and he does look lost.
He has no talent around him. He's literally the second coach on the field because Justin Simmons is out. The safeties are all 22 years old.
Who gets the plays on the defense? Jewel?
Yeah, but he got hurt. Like
So
the first
Singleton
quarter.
gets it?
Yeah, Singleton. And Drew Sanders, I thought he was going to be good. He's terrible.
Really?
He sucks.
I haven't been looking at him.
Every play he was on the ground trying
Yeah.
to get
Was he one of those
Mostert.
guys in that photo?
Yeah, he was. There's a lot of just missed tackles
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
general.
That I don't know. It's very weird for how you go from one of the worst offenses to a serviceable offense to one of the worst defenses.
Yeah.
Like going from this to this it's really weird to me.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Broncos Bears next week. Who the hell knows what's gonna happen? It's either both teams are gonna have 30 or both teams are gonna have 10. So there's literally gonna be it's either gonna be a massive shootout or no one can score. We'll see though what happens. But going on to the next topic, the Jacksonville Jaguars are 1-2. Is this surprising to you? And if there's something wrong with them, what's wrong with the Jaguars? I'll start with you, Joey.
Yeah, 1-2.
It's surprising.
I mean, it's
definitely
surprising, but I'm not worried at all about this.
You're not?
No. Because I still think Trevor Lawrence, he can be an MVP level quarterback. I think the offense, it's been okay. And the defense, I thought it'd be a little bit better. But I trust Doug Peterson to get it back going.
Same. So do I. What do you think, Jay?
I mean, yeah, I don't have much to say. I think that I'm not worried at all. I think they're a good team. I think they'll for sure be in the playoffs and win the division. It's just every year they find a way to lose to Houston or Indy.
Like I said,
those division games are
predictions.
always they're always close. I don't know why they can't beat Houston. But besides that, they played the Chiefs. That was a sloppy game as well. I don't think Lawrence is as good as people think he is.
I
To
agree.
be honest,
I agree.
I think he gets way too much praise for being this average with the pieces around him. But I think I still have faith in him to turn it around. I'm not worried at all. They do have a hard schedule, but they're in a weak division, so it won't matter.
Go ahead, Ryan. Obviously, you're high on the Texans, so
Yeah, I am.
We'll
I am
talk
high
about
on
that
the
a little bit.
Texans,
Shit.
but it kind of does worry me a little bit. I mean, it's only the start of the season. We've seen the Bengals go from 0-2 at the start of the year
Yeah,
all the
we
way
have.
to the Super Bowl or whatever it was. But I think but it's just to me getting blitzed by the Texans. They were just like they came into that game unprepared. It's
Yeah.
if these division games are going to be this close, down the stretch, these division games will be a lot. And I mean, these losses coming at the division at the start of the year could be a factor down the road. But yes, I mean, the Jags, did come back in the playoffs against the Chargers, so that this offense does have extreme hope. I mean, they did get Calvin Ridley. I think they just got to find ways to just click everything going, because I guess when this offense gets going, there's just so much around that could be so explosive that
spread it around.
1 and 2 is it concerning now. I'd like to see maybe in a couple more weeks, if they only have 2 wins, if they're 2 and 5 or something, 2 and 4 or whatever, then it's like, okay, you gotta worry about this team a lot. But now I think just start of the year, maybe early jitters, whatnot.
Yeah.
So
I'm not panicking, but I'm worrying a little bit. I'm honestly not too worried. The defense is the part that worries me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, Tyson Campbell, sure. Trayvon Walker, your first overall pick. But Andre Sisco, rookie, and young safety in there. There's just not much of this defense that stands out to me. I feel like every game that they play and they let up 20-plus points. Like, they can't never have a game where they're holding these teams to a touchdown and a couple of field goals. That's the part that worries me. Jacksonville's offense is one that can score, but every game, if you're getting into a shootout, that's what worries me a little bit. I think that Doug Peterson, the OC, I'm not totally sure what his name is, they've been flipping who's calling plays. And people are wondering if that has an effect on the Jags offense, which I don't think it's too much because it's the exact same system. But to me, I'm not panicking on the Jags. I just think that it's going to be a slow start. And my record prediction, I had them 9-7-1 with that sneaky tie in there. But like you said they would be an easy 11-win team, right?
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Believe that.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't say that. Like, I think they'll win the division at like 9-8 or 9-7-1, like I had, or like 10-7.
Yeah.
Like, but calling this team elite, I wouldn't. I'd put them in kind of a tier with like the Lions, the Browns, like stuff like that. I wouldn't call them up there with the Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, 49ers, Eagles. That's where, because there's always a team every year that you call to break out. And the Jags were one of these where it's like dark horse Super Bowl, Lawrence dark horse MVP, like all of this you want to say. I just don't see it. I think they'll be a team that can maybe win a playoff game this year. And I just don't see them going super far yet. Yeah, Lawrence is still young. Peterson's still working in that scheme. But yeah.
The only thing that is worrying me is just because I don't think they can keep up in these shootouts. Now looking at the Dolphins just consistently putting up points. You got the Chargers now. Keenan Allen seems pretty damn back. Like, he seems pretty good now. I mean, he's third in receiving yards. Threw a touchdown. Like, they're getting tricky. They're getting tricky in the offense. So the Chargers offense is so explosive now too. And if the Jaguars don't really pick up their defense, I think
they're in trouble.
They can make the playoffs, maybe just scrape the playoffs.
Look what happened against the Chargers. They let up, what was 28? 35?
Yeah, it was 28-24, I think.
Yeah.
And then you let up these points, and I don't think you can just come back and get them and just steady in a shootout. They'll maybe scrape playoffs, but when a playoff comes, I don't think they'll be able to put up with all these teams that are going to make it.
I agree. Moving on to the next topic. This topic gets, well, I don't want to say gets me excited because that's kind of weird, but it's very encouraging to see. Shane Steichen's been unbelievable for the Indianapolis Colts, and it's a team that's not being talked about a lot. I think that the Colts are definitely flying under the radar. They got a young core with Anthony Richardson, who's been looking pretty good. He's obviously went out of one game and then didn't play against the Ravens, which they won. But Shane Steichen, it looks like he's just got one of these systems where you put Gardner Minshew in there, they go out and beat the Ravens. Although the Ravens have a couple injuries, so did the Colts. They're missing their starting quarterback. And he's done I just want to talk about this because he's done a terrific job. And this team in a couple of years, Jonathan Taylor doesn't want to play this year because he doesn't want money. They don't have a standout wide receiver core. They've got mediocre tight ends. The O-line was a problem when he came to the team. Isaiah Rodgers suspended for gambling. And this team's left with Julius Brents in the secondary. E.J. Speed is one of the best linebackers for them now. There's just a lot of things that he's put together, and they've just been a very surprising team. And I think that as a head coach hire, he was definitely a huge hit. So what do you think about this?
Well, he kind of brought like the Jalen Hurts system from Philadelphia over to the Colts, which kind of works out.
He's a perfect match for Richardson.
Oh, he is, for sure, because he's a good play designer.
Yeah.
He knows how to work with young quarterbacks.
Yes.
And, I think this team has lots of potential in the future.
Yeah, I think they're a good team they're doing really good for the talent that they have on their roster,
Yes.
and I think they're only really going to get better. Yeah, like you said, I don't think they really have anything that stands out, like any position group
Just a
that's
well-coached
very good.
team.
They're just a well-coached team, yeah. And they're playing really well. They just knocked off a team who's probably top 10 in the league, even though they did have injuries, but Colts do too. So
Yep.
I think it's a big win. On the road too, I think.
Yeah.
So
Hard.
that's a hard game to win. First year head coach, like, that's a great win. They're moving in the right direction for sure.
I think it's a very well coached team considering what they've been through already this year.
Exactly.
A running
Season
back
didn't even start.
A running back who in the offseason was going to get traded. His owner and him were beefing each other, blah, blah, blah. If I have a back injury, I don't want to play, this and that. To potentially being traded. Now he's not. Apparently now he's healthy and he's fine. He just doesn't want to play because of money. So they had to deal with that running back room. Then they lose a starting corner from gambling, and then another defensive player, I think, from gambling too or something.
Yeah.
They've just had so much to overcome, and then a rookie quarterback too added on to that, and in a decent offense, I guess you could say. And then they're just coming out 2 wins already off the gate, beating Baltimore in Baltimore, which always a tough place to win, right?
Very tough.
And I can only see this team really going up from here. I mean, I kind of shitted on them in the offseason because I actually thought they weren't going to be that good. I thought they were going to need to rely on Jonathan Taylor, and he's not playing. So I immediately thought this team with a rookie quarterback, they're not going to be nothing. But now they're pulling out wins with their backup quarterback, Gardner Minshew. So it's like this team can only go up from here, and this division is actually going to be tougher than I thought going into this season. It's going to be down to the wire, I think.
I have the Colts going 4-13. I think that's already going to be off.
I think so, yeah.
I just think that it's just one of these teams where if you have a good coach and system, it looks like anything can succeed. The problem, like, people don't talk about the O-line. It was one of the worst in the league last year with a lot of talent. Shane Steichen comes in and he just seems to fix that problem. Minshew had a lot of time against a pretty good Ravens D-line. And then, talking about Richardson is really the main point, right? He's just came in. Richardson, I said this whole offseason, Richardson's going to make a lot of mistakes, and he's doing that, blah, blah, blah. He's playing like an NFL QB already. He's getting the runs in when he needs to. Shane Steichen's putting them in. He's making pretty good throws, and he's just looked like an all-around freak for the NFL level already, and it's good to see because he's got a ton of potential, and Shane Steichen's one of the guys in the NFL that can maximize it.
Yeah, and I think when you find the coach, he can turn a team around a long way. Like, especially the O-line. Like, if they can figure out ways to get people open. Like, McDaniel came into the Dolphins, I'll use as an example, as like a terrible offense too. Was getting smoked left and right. He hasn't been touched. Maybe he's been touched once this year. Like, the pocket's been so clean. And then I think they can do the same in the Colts. Just be able to move with Anthony Richardson, keep the pocket clean somewhat, just quick, simple passes that can be explosive plays. But no, they're heading in the right direction for sure.
One of the main thing as a coach, I feel like, is how can you use your quarterback's talents to your advantage, right? Shane Steichen, perfect design runs for Anthony Richardson with a good run game. Zach Moss has been good for the Indianapolis Colts. No bias because I have him in fantasy, but still over 120 yards a game when starting. That's a lot of rushing yards for one running back. Trey Sermon's pitched in with around 30 to 40, and then you have him throwing the deep shots, which he has the huge arm, right? Occasionally. It's just that he still has so much to learn, which is the scary part. But as of right now, he looks very, very good for a rookie who doesn't look like a rookie. Anyways, going on to the next topic, another AFC South team, CJ Stroud. He's absolutely cooking right now, and I had him number 1 QB in the NFL draft. I know you don't like that because the Bama boys, but I know you like Tank Dell in Houston.
Yeah,
so
love him.
I think that the Texans and Stroud, this is another very bright future. This division looks like it can be crazy in the next couple of years. I think that when you bring CJ Stroud into this organization, you get your franchise edge rusher, Will Anderson, who's looked very good. And then you get one piece that can create chemistry, Tank Dell, a deep threat. CJ Stroud has looked like a veteran in the pocket, standing tall, making these tough passes. He's looked like he's had great footwork. Tank Dell hitting the deep shots. And another team where they don't have a lot, but these good coaches or good players can just make NFL franchises this much better. CJ Stroud's looked amazing in his first 3 games. I'm pretty sure, are the Texans 2-1?
1-2.
1-2, sorry, but they kept it close with the who was
Colts
it?
or Ravens?
Yeah, the Ravens. Sorry, week 1, and they've just been amazing so far, especially CJ Stroud. He's pinpoint accuracy, all the stuff above right now. But Jay, what do you think of this right now? How CJ Stroud's performing?
He's been great. But with that being said, I'm still on the Bryce Young train. I still think he'll be better. I think if you look at it, though, from an offensive perspective, I think I would rather be in Houston than be in Carolina. But I'm not going to make that argument because Stroud's been a lot better than him. I think the Texans have a better O-line and they have better weapons, and their offense is just better, in my opinion. But Stroud's been super impressive. I don't even think he's thrown an interception yet. I think he's made it. No, I think he has like 1. Maybe, but he's been playing really well. Yeah. And I think he's top 5 in passing yards. It's kind of a shocker. I didn't think he'd be this good at all.
And so, one thing, too, is when you play with confidence, it's really special. When you see him get in the end zone and he's celebrating with these guys, it's just a good thing to see from a quarterback where you usually think their rookie year is going to be very down on them and stuff. Like we saw Trevor Lawrence, what happened with him in that whole draft class, honestly. But yeah, CJ Stroud, I'm really impressed. Joey, what do you think?
Like you said, he looks really comfortable in the pocket, and his O-line's been hurt, I think. I think 3 starters were out last
guard opposite of Tunsil broke his arm.
Tyus Howard or something. Yeah, they signed him to a big deal and he's done, right?
Yeah.
Hurt.
Yeah. So, and then the receivers, Tank Dell, Nico Collins isn't bad, but
Robert Woods.
It's not as good as what he had at Ohio State.
No.
Even when they're in Ohio State, they're still better.
I know.
So just how quick he's adjusted to the NFL has really impressed me, even when I wasn't very high on him coming out of the draft.
What do you think, obviously, as a Bryce Young and Tank Dell guy?
Yeah, well, I think being in Houston is a better spot than Carolina. I think because I like the Houston wide receiving core way better, right, than Carolina's. But that's not going to take away from the fact that if Bryce Young was in Houston, he'd be doing way better than CJ Stroud. Whatnot. Yeah. CJ Stroud is doing good. I think again, it comes down to coaching. It's a coach that is finding a way for his quarterback, again, to be good to his ability and make him feel comfortable like he's still in college, like he's only a rookie. You're not asking him to come in and automatically feel like a 5-year, 7-year vet, like right off rip. It's like he's still adjusting to the game, being comfortable, putting up great numbers. No one would have thought he would have done this. So I think it's just coming in with a head of confidence. You're coming into a coach who trusts you. He's not relying on you too much, not bashing you. There's some couple coaches that come in being heavily reliant on their young quarterbacks right away, which isn't a good system in my opinion, because if you crush a guy's confidence so hard like Justin Fields, honestly, I think his confidence in Zach Wilson, I think their confidence might be so crushed that I don't know if they'll be able to come back and be what their top potential could have been, because now they're caught up in social media here and this and that. Their offense isn't winning games. They're a struggle, and it's like you hear Joe Namath, the Jets legend, come out and say, "Get him out."
And they're acting like Zach Wilson isn't going to hear that. Obviously,
get out. He's horrible. This and that. Like he's going to hear it, and it's like, do you really think like, oh shit, no one likes me? Like my confidence is gone. Like I could be out of the Jets, and where am I going to go? Because every team already has a quarterback. It's like then you're caught in the middle. It's like, damn, like what did I do to mess up my career? So it's like coming in with a confidence, with a good coach, it goes a long way.
Exactly. And these young cultures with these new coaches is a very key thing too. Yeah. D'Amico Ryan's new head coach, right? Good culture. Shane Steichen, head coach. That's why we're going to talk about Zach Wilson and the Jets a little bit, but Robert Saleh could be the problem, right? You never know. So what I had on CJ Stroud, I had him as my QB1 pre-draft over Bryce Young. He's got, right now in the NFL, he's got pinpoint accuracy, delivering the ball on time, even under pressure, and he seems so calm in the pocket as his first couple games in the NFL. He's not playing with any expectations right now, and he's over-succeeding, which is perfect, right, for a guy's confidence. They're obviously not going to be over 500 come the end of the season. I think we all know that, but if they're playing like this right now, this team has a very, very bright future for years to come, because you got Tank Dell, who could be their kind of deep threat type of guy he's got chemistry with. Damian Pierce, young running back. He hasn't obviously been
they just got to get that
super
going.
Good. They got to get the run game going a little bit. The defense, Stingley landed on IR. I think
Again.
Petrie went on IR.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many hits still, and they're still beating these playoff teams, which is very impressive to me. And for the future, I think this is This is going to be a fun division to watch in the next couple of years too,
Will
because
win QBs,
tons of
yeah.
talent, tons and tons of talent. Just the Titans look like a mess still, which I don't even know what to think.
Yeah.
They got stomped by the Browns. What was the score?
27-3, I think.
Yeah.
As from a Titans believer, what do you think?
Bullshit. They suck. Tannehill sucks, and their O-line can't block.
Henry sucks.
And Henry.
What's
I think
wrong?
Their O-line's just so bad.
I don't know.
They can't block for the run or the pass. They
Well,
might as well be
actually-
preschoolers. They're shit.
It's when they go down big, Henry doesn't see the field.
Yeah. They just
So
have
once
spears
they
in.
play like the Texans this year and they're up by like 10 points,
They'll run his stats.
that's what happens
Yeah.
every year.
Man,
So-
I just wish they had a quarterback. I say that all the time. But if they had a decent quarterback, then that offense would be
Still
so
Levis
like
in
that
there.
offense would be pretty
Yeah.
good.
Why
Why
not?
not?
You can't do that though.
you can't
'Cause
go
if he
wrong with
sucks,
that.
then same thing will happen.
It's
to
going to be crushed. Yeah.
Put
So-
Willis back in.
Speaking of
Just
young
kidding.
quarterbacks getting crushed, probably a talk of the NFL this whole offseason and this season still. Zach Wilson and the Jets are just a mess. Patriots, they lose, where they had a lot of opportunities to win the game.
Lots.
So Robert Saleh keeps saying to the media, Zach's our guy. We're going to stick with him. I think the more he defends Zach Wilson, puts his jeopardizes him as a coach even more, because the more you stand by this guy saying he's going to get us a win, he's going to get us a win. Robert Saleh, you're about to be up and out of there soon. You're going to be. And he might be the problem of the Jets, even though Zach Wilson hasn't shown. I think that Robert Saleh is just fuels this fake ass confidence in Zach Wilson where no one in the locker room believes it. Like, you have all your players knowing that you're speaking bullshit to the media when deep inside you know exactly what's happening. You can't go out to the media and say, yeah, we're going to look for different options at QB this week and we'll see what happens come game time Sunday night against the Chiefs. He goes, nope, we're sticking with Zach Wilson. He's our guy and we're going to keep rolling with him. Stop asking me this. And they said there's been internal problems now because Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, all these young guys, Delvin Cook came there to go win a championship, and you say you're sticking with this scrub. Like, I guess upgrading Zach Wilson to a Carson Wentz, Brissett, Mike White, bring him back, something like that. Like, it's not too much of an upgrade, but I think it could satisfy these players enough where it makes them happy because they went out after the season and they said, Zach Wilson, you're not our QB next year. Sauce Gardner went on Twitter and said, Aaron Rodgers, come be our QB. I'm done with Zach Wilson. He said that, and now you have this guy here, and then you have the coach defending him. I think it's kind of conflicting the locker room a lot, and Saleh might lose the locker room as long as when Aaron Rodgers is rehabbing in California right now, because it seems like to be a big problem right now because they're all fed up. What do you think of this situation?
Well, the Jets, I think they just went into panic mode. They saw Rodgers go down first drive of the game. It might have been like second snap, really, with him and the Jets. He went down right away, and I think they hit the panic button instantly because they for sure thought, we won't be touching Zach Wilson at all this season. He won't play unless it's in a blowout garbage time. We're going with Rodgers. We'll just plan everything around Rodgers. We're going out to win a Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden he's done, and they hit the panic button right away. They put Zach Wilson into a hard environment. I bet you all these plays in the new offense were all ran around Aaron Rodgers. So he's got to go in and learn Aaron Rodgers, his whole offensive playbook, and he's put into a terrible situation, and then they just kept running with him, not changing anything, and they're just going to crush this guy and this team to the ground. Then you got all these young guys, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, now just mad because they were spoiled with Aaron Rodgers, thinking, hey, second year in the league, I'm going to be in the playoffs. I'll be fighting for a Super Bowl, and it's like now they get put with Zach Wilson again, and they're getting humbled, and they're not liking it. And this team is really just a mess. I think you have to go out and you just, because it'd be good for a Green Bay fan if you just pack in the season, you just run it down, and you're getting their good. They got their first, right? You get their good pick.
It's a second.
It becomes a second because that's
okay. Then never mind then. But I just don't think you can still pack this year in. Like, you still got a great defense. It's a great defense.
Roster.
You can do a whole lot with this team if you just get a facilitating quarterback, and there's so many of them out there that are available to get. And it's like, even if that's trading for a team's backup quarterback and just bringing him in to be a facilitator, like you just need a passing point guard, basically, a guy who can sit in a clean pocket if you get it and just distribute the ball to their playmakers.
Hand the ball off in one of the best run games.
They got 3 good running backs. They got good wide receivers, a good flow, deep depth chart of wide receivers. It's like this team just is missing a guy who can just sit in there with lots of experience and confidence and just drop balls right in receivers' hands and just let them do the work.
What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I think it's just a shame that this defense is going to waste, because this defense, in my opinion, is top 3 in the league for sure. Like, them and the Niners are probably the 2 best. So it just sucks, because honestly, even though I'm a Lions fan and I grew up with Rodgers destroying the Lions, like, I actually wanted the Jets to do really good. I thought all those division games were going to be awesome. And now we've just been robbed of, like, 5 good primetime games. And I thought the Jets were going to be super entertaining teams to watch. And it just sucks, because their games are going to end up being 7-3 for the rest of the year, unless they get somebody. But I do think they should go out and get a guy from free agency. Hopefully they can win 8 or 9 games. I'd say Brissett would be at the top of my list. That guy's been on like every team in the league. He's done it before.
You got any names?
And Wentz too, maybe.
I don't want to say. I'll say this name. Why not? Sure, Cam Newton.
Hey.
Why not give Cam Newton I'd just go out and honestly, I'd sign
Kaepernick.
I'd sign 5 or 6 guys to the practice squad. I'd go out and sign Carson Wentz. I'd go out and sign Cam
5
Newton.
guys to the practice.
I'd go out and get
Tim Boyle. No, he's in the
I'd go out and get whoever's left out there.
Kaepernick.
Bring up, maybe give him a shot. Why not? bring them all into like an open
Trey
tryout.
Lance.
He's a Cowboy.
No? No. Like, would you trade for Trey Lance?
No. I'd bring all these experienced guys into a camp and be like, you know what? This is it. We're giving 5 guys an opportunity, and we're picking the best quarterback.
Just sign 5 of them at once.
Whoever does them, and then the ones that don't, gone. Cut. Keep the one that was good, and then you find your one, and then you can turn this.
Stidham.
It's like a Royal Rumble.
Like, honestly,
That's
I think
great.
they trade for. I think they can trade back for a backup or something off a team like
Bridgewater.
They maybe Bridgewater, maybe get him off of the
Because
Lions.
Hooker's there,
but,
right?
Yeah,
So it's not like it matters in a couple months.
He's
but
hurt,
they have to do something quick. I'd like to see, why not, if Cam Newton's actually been working, give him a shot.
I know his ass is not working.
No,
I know his ass is not working.
He's been smoking bowls in his basement.
Why not give him a shot again?
No, I love me some Cam Newton.
Anything right now is better than Zach Wilson. I mean,
is.
I think the top of the list is Carson Wentz, just because of his ability to just still be able to distribute the ball and not overhandle
Like, I hate
stuff.
when people say the shit like Nick Foles. Like,
yeah, no, like, come on. Like, they're not going to try to go out and get some just
Trubisky.
old vet bum. You could trade for
Trubisky.
Trubisky. You could. You really could.
because they got Rudolph there still.
You really could. I think he'd be
What do
better
you
than
think,
Zach
Joey?
Wilson.
Give me some names.
Some names?
Or what do you think of the situation? Names.
Oh, I don't have anything to say about this.
Why?
I'm just happy about it.
Like, see this hating, bro? Like,
Yo.
but Nate, like, honestly, what are some names for the Jets?
Chad Henne.
He's retired.
Good.
Yeah, you can
Bring
come
him
back.
back.
He already said no. They tried to get Matt. Someone brought it up to Matt Ryan.
Ryan,
He
yeah.
said no.
You know what I think? If Joe Namath is talking all this shit, tell him to strap on the pads and get in there.
Dan Marino said he could play
Yeah.
nowadays. I don't know if he'd do it though, because it'd
No.
be in division with
Idiot.
the Dolphins,
Yeah.
right? But like Brady, like I think that's already out of the picture, right?
No, I think they actually have to host an open tryout. Like it's like a pro day for these quarterbacks. Just bring them in and pick whoever is the best, because they're in desperate. Because they still, it's only 3 games in. It's like you.
They literally, if they
You
can
can
get
turn
someone that
this around.
facilitates, they can make the playoffs.
Yeah, you.
The
can turn
defense
this
is
around
that
so
good.
much. So that's why they have to do it fast, and they have to do it this weekend.
Like,
I
is
don't know.
is the GM gonna say to Saleh at one point here, like if they get pumped by the Chiefs, is Saleh gonna go to the media and he's gonna say, "We're sticking with Zach. He's still our guy." You
can't
think the
anymore.
You think the GM either goes, "Hey, get the fuck out of here," or he goes, "We're going to get someone right now."
I think the GM has to come in and say, we're going to get something. Like, your GM's got to be somewhat active in this media, because if your coach is going out every week saying, we're going to stick with this guy, sticking with this guy, it gets to a point where it's like, man, just shut up and don't even do the media.
Yeah.
Because we all know what you're thinking off the scenes. Like, you guys are having meetings going, GM is telling Saleh, hey man, don't worry, we're already on it.
Yep.
We're going to go out and try and get someone. And then Saleh just has to go in the media and go, no, we're sticking with him. He's our guy. We're gonna roll with him. Like
It gets annoying because like he knows he's lying to himself.
So it's like they gotta just do something quick. Because really, if they are sticking with this guy, they're in trouble.
Yeah. Do you agree?
Yeah.
All right, so going to the last couple, he's such a Jets hater. It's actually week 5, eh? Is it week 5 or 6?
Yeah,
Jets
week
Broncos.
5.
Oh, that'll be a good
It
one.
will be 1-3 going into that game.
What?
1-3 going into that game.
Broncos?
We both will. Broncos and
No.
Jets.
Broncos on 4. Going to the last couple topics. Your top 5 NFL teams currently going into week 4. Sorry.
Week 4.
Week 4. Damn. Going into week 4, what are your top 5 teams? We'll start at number 5 here. Go ahead, Ron.
I got the Chiefs at 5. I don't know. I think their offense struggled week 1.
Yeah.
I think they can hopefully this week, next week, find who their true wide receiver 1 is going to be.
Won't happen.
It's still up in the air. Like, I don't know who you can
Won't
rely
happen
on.
against the Jets.
Like, Sky Moore, meh.
Trash.
Rasheed Rice,
Maybe.
Kadarius Toney.
Nah.
You
It's Scantling.
Maybe still but he's only a
I
vertical
know.
deep threat.
He only catches the ball for 30 yards.
And it's
That's the
tough
problem.
because if you're going to rely on Kelsey to do everything midfield, I mean, you might have to rely on
They
your
might have
run
to go
heavy.
get someone.
They might.
Like, literally.
But I think because their defense actually
It's
shocked me.
good.
Like, it's surprisingly damn good.
It's good. It's
Yep.
very good. Top 5. Okay, so Chiefs at 5. What do you got, Jay?
I have Cowboys at 5.
Yeah.
I would have had them higher, but I think it's just a stinker
Fluky
game.
loss, yeah.
They'll bounce back fine. I think they'll beat the Patriots pretty handily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much to say.
Yeah.
They're a great team.
Sneaky upset.
I have Cowboys at 5 too.
Same. So do I. Cowboys at 5 as well. What do you got for number 4?
Number 4, I got the Cowboys at 4.
Yeah.
Like I said, like you guys said, sorry,
Fluky.
the fluke loss against Arizona. I think everyone knows what they thought going into that game. Hey, we're gonna go in there with the Cowboys. We're gonna steamroll these guys. And Arizona.
I thought the backups would be in by third quarter.
And Arizona stung him with an uppercut. Like it just shit. It's gonna be
Jonathan
it's gonna be a
Gannon.
battle. Like it's we're ready to play.
Hey, Gannon
Yeah.
coached a good game.
Yeah, it's like we're ready.
I thought he'd be
Sucks.
I thought he'd be a one and done. He's better than Peyton right now.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No,
Absolutely he is. Go ahead, Jay.
For 4, I have the Eagles. I would have them higher, but their offense is a bit concerning. I feel like they haven't hit their stride in the passing game really as of late. Yeah, I think Hurts definitely needs to step up if they want to contend for another Super Bowl.
Go ahead, Joe.
Number 4, I have the Bills. This team, they're back. And they're
Doing
going
tricks
to beat
on
the
it.
Dolphins.
So dramatic.
Whoa. Yeah, well, you see what he does, though? Because he tries to flip it on the teams that lost into him. Like, oh, my gosh. They're going to
Big
beat
win.
the Dolphins. So number 4, Bills. I also have
Yeah.
the Eagles at number 4. I just think that they're still getting it into
Yeah,
new
I'm not
OC. They're
worried,
still
really,
they're
but-
still getting it into rhythm. They'll keep rolling. But, yeah, Eagles at 4 for me. Number 3.
I got the Eagles at 3, but I was actually gonna keep them out of the top 5, but I just can't. I think Jalen Hurts is really actually, like, based on the first 3 games, maybe regressing a little bit this year. Like, watching a couple of the games, even their last
I think he couldn't get
game.
much better from last
Like,
year,
his accuracy is kind of depleting. Like, I don't really like he's off a little bit on deep throws. They're just
Sneaky
late.
merchant.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
bullshit.
like he is getting kind of saved by the uprise of DeAndre Swift.
Swift's
Like
carrying
behind
That
I
like,
was
run game is actually
It-
I was gonna
ridiculous.
say that.
Like,
It's
Swift-
ridiculous.
like Swift now that he's
They haven't
healthy
played
behind a
anyone
good
like
line.
this.
I think you
Like,
should
it's
get
stupid.
what? The Buccaneers have a great D line.
No.
Just
What?
their O line pushes up so much that they're going 2-3 yards. He is.
Kelsey's on the
before
second
getting
level.
contact.
Swift has the easiest
Before
job in the NFL
before
right now.
Swift gets over the line of scrimmage, Jason Kelsey's on the second level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's stupid, but I think you got to give a little bit of credit to
Yeah.
Swift too because he is seeing the
Yeah.
holes pretty
Oh,
well.
very well.
Which what did I'm not even trying to like be on you, but what did the Lions honestly trade Swift for?
I think it was like a 6th rounder.
Okay.
I don't know. We had no use for him anymore. And honestly, if he doesn't get hurt this year, I'd be so shocked. Because he was 3
You guys
seasons.
said the exact same, bro.
Dude, but he's I think he's only started or I think he's only played like half his games fully healthy
Sorry, did you
in
want
his
to say
whole
something?
career.
No, it was just more of the uprise of Swift. I think is what's keeping this team in this run game in the 5 because maybe people thought Sanders dropping out, Swift wouldn't be as good as
Yeah,
they
and
thought.
it doesn't really
And
matter
then
who's
boom,
running
he
it.
hit him with a a
Him.
top rusher in this
No, not
league.
him. He's not
him
him.
yet,
No.
but I am a top rusher in this league. I will rush all over you,
Yep.
and he doesn't care. I mean, this team is still good coached.
Yep.
I think their defense is still all right. Very young and very good young guys.
Jalen Carter's
so,
a monster.
Yeah. So no, you gotta keep him in there.
Go ahead, Jay. Number 3.
Number 3, I have the Chiefs.
Yep.
I was gonna put them a bit higher. I'm not concerned at all. I think they'll be probably in the Super Bowl again.
That's shot. I thought you were gonna have the Bills.
No, I don't trust them yet. They're too up and down, and I don't trust their offense as much as I trust the Chiefs.
Go ahead, Joe.
Number 3, I have the Chiefs.
Same. I do have the Chiefs as well as number 3. I think that this team, they're getting into form, right? They lost that game against the Lions. No Chris Jones and Travis Kelce. Look how much of a difference they make when they're on the field.
I was gonna put the Lions in.
It's absolutely ridiculous when these guys are on the field. Chris Jones making plays. That Jacksonville, he's making tip deflections. He's had a sack. Bears sack. TFL. He's just everywhere. Travis Kelce, we know what he is. Chiefs at 3 for me. Go ahead. Number 2.
I have the Dolphins at 2. Just not much you can say about them, really. They're just so electric, very good coached. Coach is fitting Tua into a perfect situation. Tua is playing lights out. Defense looked like it was going to be average week 1, but it's coming into form. Wait till they get Jalen Ramsey back too later in the year. This defense is something to look out for. Dolphins, not much teams I think that'll be able to keep up with them.
Yeah.
That aren't like Belichick is an exception because he'll always play the Dolphins well. He's always playing anyone well.
Plays them for a living, literally.
Yeah, he plays every team well, really. But this Dolphins team, I think this is for sure their year. You can't look at anything other than that. I think it's their time. They'll go in Buffalo, win next week. They're due to beat Buffalo. In Buffalo too, they've came close twice. But no, this team is it's a very good team.
I agree. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have Dolphins at 2 as well.
Number 2, Dolphins, but this is the highest they'll ever be.
See
And
how
once
mad he
teams
gets? See
get
how mad
film
he
on
gets?
this team, they
What do you
won't be
mean
that good.
get film on this
You can't
team?
stop
They've been
this
the same
offense.
thing
They
for the
gave
last
away all
2
their
years.
plays against the Broncos.
What?
Stop this offense.
They gave away all their plays. Watch out.
See,
They're done.
Bro, I hate when you make up these theories that convinces yourself Broncos sneaky upset because the family's in the building. now everyone's got film against Mike McDaniel, and this guy's making plays out of his ass every week that are new plays.
Yeah.
There's something new every week.
For sure there
Flip
will
pass, no look. Flip pass, no look. It's not Mike McDaniel had all data scheme up plays because the Broncos can't get to the
Everything
quarterback.
was just open. He
Yeah,
was
you're
having
right.
fun.
That's why.
They wasted all those plays.
He was your-
Well, that's the only team he's gonna get those plays
He's
against,
drawing
where you
them
could
up
hold
on
up in
the
the pocket
sideline.
for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me, actually, the 49ers.
Oh,
I don't have them over the number 1 team because Brock Purdy still scares me. I don't care that they're blowing these teams out. He's made a couple good throws, but I think this year against some highly elite teams, I think he's going to go for 1 or 2 interceptions around there. And I see him, he's just been missing some throws, which he didn't do last year. But now as he's getting into a consistent starter, it's going to show why he was the last overall pick for a reason. And I'm just not completely sold on the 49ers offense yet, even though they do have amazing weapons, which can be cowbelled by CMC, Debo, Kittle, right? But when it's time for Brock Purdy to make some big-time plays, I'm not banking on it. Go ahead.
I have the 49ers at 1, just slightly above the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins can easily compete with them and beat them. But I just have them at 1 just because CMC right now is destroying every team he plays. Like he is on a mission. Like he'll go out, he'll hit every hole for a big yard, and you're just caught in a rearview mirror chasing him down all game. Yes, Brock Purdy is actually kind of scaring me a bit this year. This offense is still very good. I think they're getting Ayuk back this week.
Brock
See
Purdy
what
don't
he can
gotta
do.
be Superman.
But no, he is missing like very big throws that can explode these
Change
games even
yeah.
more. But no, I just think this team is just another very well coached team. Like it's kind of a theme here with all these top 5 teams. It's just they're well coached, and it's just a great coach. Kyle Shanahan can win you games no matter who is back there playing.
Bingo. Go ahead.
Yep, I got Niners at 1 as well. I just think they're unstoppable. They're such a well-rounded team outside of quarterback, but honestly, I think this proves like that you don't need an elite quarterback to win anything. I think they'll contend for sure for the Super Bowl. I would be surprised if they weren't in the NFC Championship game.
Number
Yeah.
1, I got the 49ers.
Yeah. Number 1, Miami Dolphins. I just think that coming off that win is a huge statement to tell the league that we are going for the top spot this year. And the scariest thing is seeing Jalen Ramsey on the sideline, not in a uniform. Vic Fangio is only making this defense better. And then you get a top 5 defensive player in the league on your roster come week 8, week 9. And it's going to be really scary for these teams. Buffalo versus Miami next week, I think it's going to be a very close game because Bills are obviously at home. And they're going to be prepared for the onslaught that they just saw. And the Dolphins, they're obviously riding a big high right now, but will they hang 70 again? No. Will they win
Never.
the game? They got a pretty good chance to. It's going to be a great game this Sunday, and we'll see what happens here.
That'll be great.
Before we go to our Thursday night football predictions, I just wanted to ask, what do you make of Taylor Swift being at Arrowhead, Joey?
Why are you at?
Well, I'll ask everyone. What do you think?
No, I
Is it
don't
just-
give a shit about this.
You don't?
No.
Why
I
not?
do. I love
Go
Taylor
ahead.
Swift. I love Taylor Swift. But I think it's great. I don't know.
I think it's great for the game. A lot of
Yeah.
hardcore fans like
Met some chicks
Wyatt,
watching
you
football.
well, like Wyatt, you don't like
great.
Taylor Swift, but this just brings a whole great new aspect to the game. Like that made one of the most boring games very entertaining because we're all waiting for that Travis Kelce touchdown, and it just set the roof off. I know you don't like to see a Broncos slaughter and then a Chiefs slaughter. It kind of sucks from your point of view, but
I'm
you didn't really have a reaction to this.
To Taylor Swift.
Are you kind of just like, meh, whatever?
I think Taylor Swift is turning around the whole Chiefs organization. No, I'm just fucking kidding. I'm kidding. You can't say anything because it's really just her and the crowd. I mean, obviously it's bringing a lot to Travis Kelce. I mean, they saw his follower count grow, but really it's just Taylor Swift being Taylor Swift at a game. I mean, she looked very entertained.
She did.
It'll keep the NFL entertained because I'll be able to see 10 Instagram posts every Chiefs game that she's there. So at least it's keeping them entertained. But
Bro, I feel so like it's funny to laugh, but there's like Broncos lose by 50, and then the Chiefs are the highlight of the week.
all it does is bring teenage girls to watch the
It
game.
does.
Yeah,
That's
all it
good.
does.
But it brings the NFL a lot of damn money. That's why they're gonna keep giving these Taylor Swift posts out.
Yeah.
But do you ship this couple?
I don't like Travis. I think Taylor Swift's actually a good singer.
Ooh.
Like, I'll listen to her
Like,
music, but
do you think the couple looks good together?
but like, no, Travis Kelce's an idiot. He's more corny than Russell Wilson.
Oh no! Oh hell no! Oh hell
Yeah,
no!
yeah.
Hell no!
No.
But this is gonna be
it's a funny relationship.
It is, but the end of this episode, this is gonna be a good one. Thursday night football, Lions go into Lambeau Field. I'm very excited for this game.
Me too.
'Cause this is gonna
It'll
tell
be
a lot
good.
about this division and these two teams. Here we go. Obviously, biased Lions fan here, so we're gonna go into this here. Lions going to. Can we get a line pulled up
It's minus 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
I
For
put $5 on it
Lions.
today.
for Lions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lions are favored 1.5.
Going
Shouldn't be
into
surprised by
Lambeau.
that.
Yeah.
Christian Watson in, Aaron Jones in,
Watson's questionable.
Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins are out,
Out.
though.
Yeah.
out. Decker questionable.
questionable.
Montgomery
Montgomery's
questionable. Did they play last week, Bakhtiari and Jenkins?
No.
Both of
They
them
were
didn't
all
play.
out.
Bakhtiari.
Jones,
Yeah.
Watson.
Okay. Did Jair play last week?
Nope.
No.
He's questionable
No, he didn't.
too.
He didn't play.
Shit.
That
And the
changed.
Packers got that win. So, I don't know. Jordan Love has been balling. He's been playing amazing against this Lions defense. He just went up against the Saints defense. He's gonna go to a Lions defense. Depending, I think the weather. Obviously no snow,
probably
right?
fine.
It's probably gonna be a clear, maybe windy, right? I'm expecting a Packers win, probably by a field goal. This is gonna be a good game though. Division game, hard-nosed football. Lions have been playing. They've been playing decent, not to the best of their abilities. The Packers, I think, have been playing to the best of their abilities.
Yeah.
LaFleur's been a great match for Jordan Love so far, and Love's been embracing the QB1 experience. I think that if he can rely on the run game, if Jones is in, Dylan power back on the goal line or short yardage, He's going to have Christian Watson, most likely, who's going to unlock some big plays. Dubes has been balling, your guy. Jaden Reed has been sneaky for this team. Musgrave, a couple catches. It's going to depend on how much Hutchinson wants to affect this game, I honestly think. Because, like you said, without having their 2 tackles, if he shows up and has a big game, you'll have Jordan Love running around big time off script. So, if the Lions win this game, I think it's going to be a big-time Aiden Hutchinson game. But I expect the Packers to win by a field goal or 2. Not a super big game, but I'm expecting like a 20 to 23-17 game, something like that. Low-scoring division, hard, tough football game. Go ahead, Joe.
I think the Lions will do what they did Week 18 last year. Not like an upset like that, but just go into Lambeau and win the game by a field goal.
Fair enough. Well, they haven't beat us in 2 years. I think it's our game to lose. Yeah, they haven't beat us in 2 years. We beat them the last 3 times. Really? We beat them at Lambeau last year with Rodgers with their playoff spot on the line.
And the one where Rodgers threw like 4 picks in Detroit last year.
Well, he threw, I think it was 1 in the same. He was only threw like 1 pick that game.
What?
Didn't Hutchinson have 2 that game?
Yeah.
Oh, sacks? What are you talking about?
Picks.
Oh, yeah, in Detroit?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
In Detroit, he had 3 picks.
That's what I was talking about.
I thought you were talking about the game in Lambeau.
No. In Detroit, they lost. I remember.
And yeah, it was 15-9.
Yeah.
And we won.
Okay, so what are you expecting for this game? I don't give a damn about the last 2 years.
Well, I'm just saying is that I expect us to win. I think it's our game to lose. I think we have a better roster than we've ever had in the past few years. I think all signs point to us winning. I just think we're the only way we'll lose if we beat ourselves. I think Rodgers last year is better than Love is this year. They have a lot of rookie guys. I think our secondaries prove that they've gotten better. Hopefully Mosley can factor in. Ours, Lions.
Interesting.
But it's better for sure.
For sure it's better.
Slightly.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens because I think the Packers are a good team. They're probably, well, I shouldn't say I don't hate them. I hate the Bears the most.
You hate the Packers.
Well, I don't like them, but I shouldn't say I hate them.
What do you expect?
I'm unlike you. I think it's a Packers game to lose. I think the Packers coming in on a high horse and
they're the home team, man. It's a division game.
Lambeau is always rowdy. Thursday night at Lambeau, all you can think of is great things. I think that Packers are coming in. I mean, they didn't score in the first 3 quarters. They score all the points in the fourth, come back and win. They got a high horse. I think it's a defensive impact game for the Packers. I think Jair is gonna come out
and
balling.
And don't forget what St. Brown did in Jair's face after they got that first down.
Jair,
remember that when St. Brown went in front of Jair's face and went like this?
Jair always
when they sealed the game to beat the Packers.
Really?
Yeah, he went up in his face. Remember, and he was like this. He won't forget that shit. He'll be talking shit.
Jair always keeps receipts. I think it's an impact game from Jair. I think the Packers really have a flow going and a question mark for me with the Lions. I don't like the Lions' red zone offense. I mean, without Montgomery punching in touchdowns from the 5-yard line. Other than that, like their run game in the red zone is really non-existent.
Not using Gibbs to the full potential.
So they're with their run game.
I thought he'd already fully be in the offense.
Your fantasy box score.
No, I'm not. No, absolutely, I'm not.
Yep.
Absolutely,
100%.
I didn't even see what his fantasy
score was.
He had like
20 touches last week.
But when I watched the game, I don't see any of these Gibbs personnel plays just for him to do because he's one of
we didn't need to.
He is the most talented player on the offense, and he needs.
Oh my
to be
God! Are you
more.
serious?
Who's
the most talented player on the offense?
Most talented.
A running back that's played 3 games.
Who's most talented player on the offense?
I'd take St. Brown, Goff, Sewell, Ragnow, all better than Gibbs.
What?
Yes.
No.
Are you serious?
Most talent.
Oh.
Yes.
Most talent.
All those guys. That's the same thing.
Jahmyr Gibbs is more talented than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Are we serious?
So wait, what is he?
I'm saying that he needs to be featured more in the offense because he is the better talent and he's one of these guys. Running backs are supposed to make an impact to the game instantly.
Okay,
but
so
they want to slowly work him in the offense. Why is Craig Reynolds getting touches? Give it to Gibbs every single play.
Do you not know how football works?
Like,
you use one running back in between the tackles. That's what Montgomery's going to be. And that's not what Gibbs is right now.
And with Montgomery out, that's why I have the question mark. If Montgomery is not playing, I don't think Lambeau is the spot for a rookie running back to come out and make a big impact. So it's like, I think their red zone run game without Montgomery will be in question mark, and then it'll be on them passing for touchdowns potentially, because I know Gibbs is a fantasy owner. He's got me no touchdowns, so obviously that means something that him in the red zone or just the red zone in general with Montgomery out isn't that good. But I think it'll be a great game. Lambeau on a Thursday night's always a good thing, but I think the Packers got such a high horse going right now. They're doing well. I think if they get these players back, if they get Aaron Jones back, immediate impact in this game for sure. Jair,
they need him to win this game.
Oh, for sure, because if they're caught with A.J. Dillon,
he's trash.
It'll end up being a low-scoring game, I think, if they don't have either of their shooters in at running back. So
no, Aaron Jones has been a huge impact to Jordan Love's success just because they can rely on him in the run game and the short check down game for his security blanket. So if they don't have Aaron Jones, I don't expect the Packers to win this game. But it looks like Aaron Jones and Watson are both trending towards playing, and I think it will definitely be a close game, but I think that having the home field advantage, the team's really playing behind Jordan Love, and if the defense can just make a couple big stops here, maybe get an interception off Goff, we'll see what happens here. But yeah, I got the Packers by a small amount, nothing too big.
Yeah, because I think they'll feed off the fans' energy.
Yeah,
I think I can just picture the Packers defense coming up with a huge play, doing something, energy, crowd roaring, and their offense immediately come out, sting a punch with an offensive drive touchdown, and then it's like a game changer, right? So I think, because it's like a hostile, loud crowd environment goes a long way in football, I find, because it brings so much energy. You're just bouncing around, you're ready to go. It's like, it's going to be sick. I'm looking forward to seeing the Instagram highlights because I can't watch it. So.
All right, yeah. What do you... Give me touchdowns. Who's scoring a touchdown tomorrow?
Okay. Touchdown, Aaron Jones.
Yeah?
Like, should I do a sleeper?
No, that's fine. Aaron Jones. What do you think, Jay?
I think Gibbs is going to get his first tomorrow.
Go ahead.
Actually.
I'll go with Sam Laporta touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys won
great.
2 Lions. You won a Packer. Give me he's back. Give me a Christian Watson touchdown. Give me a Christian Watson touchdown. Deep bomb, blown coverage, Christian Watson, 45-yard touchdown. That's going to do it for episode 26. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time.